Number 11. Contractors claim that Ted Bundy's childhood home was haunted. In September 2016, Extreme Contracting got a remodeling job for Ted Bundy's childhood home. During work hours, workers claimed to hear knocking on the door and jingling of the doorknobs inside the house despite being the only ones there. Throughout the 7 months of remodeling, the staff experienced at least 30 strange occurrences. Allegedly, they even found notes written in the basement dirt and sawdust reading, "Help me and leave." Number 12. Ted Bundy claimed to come from a perfect Christian home. In most of Bundy's interviews, he would often portray his home life as a perfect and good-natured Christian family. Although the family practiced Methodist faith, experts have enough reasons to believe that a lot happened behind closed doors. Since they were very conservative, when his mother got pregnant, Ted became a bastard son. As a result, Bundy grew up thinking that his grandparents were his real parents, which may have also affected his viewpoint on things. Number 13. The final victim of Ted Bundy was a 12-year-old girl. On February 9, 1978, Bundy kidnapped and murdered 12-year-old high school student Kimberly Leach. According to witnesses, Bundy led the girl toward his vehicle. Upon investigation, authorities recovered the girl's blood, clothing, and skin fiber from his van. This grisly murder eventually earned him the electric chair. Number 14. Ted Bundy's crimes went unnoticed until witness accounts exposed a pattern. In 1974, multiple dead bodies turned up in the Seattle area. During that time, authorities made no connection between the strange disappearances and murders. However, it changed when witnesses described a man in a cast that they frequently saw at Lake Sammamish Park. They observed the man ask random women for help with his car. The pattern became too glaring when witnesses started sharing the same details over and over again. The disappearances of Denise Naslund and Janice Ott led to the breakthrough of this pattern. Number 15. One of Ted Bundy's escaped victims helped put him behind bars. In 1975, several of Bundy's escaped victims managed to identify him in a police lineup. Particularly the 18-year-old Carol Durant served as the key to putting the serial killer in prison when she identified and testified against him. Number 16. A 1968 Volkswagen Beetle was Ted Bundy's luring vehicle. Although unsuspecting, Bundy used a modified Volkswagen Beetle to lure in his victims. Disturbingly, the car had no handle on the passenger side that would allow someone to go out. Similarly, the front seat of the car was also removed. Today, Bundy's Volkswagen sits on display at the Crime Museum of Alcatraz East. Number 17. Ted Bundy was his own lawyer during his trials. Although he studied law, Bundy did not become a licensed lawyer. Despite this, he still chose to represent himself during his trials. Bundy believed that his lawyers were unfit to do the job, as they were already convinced that he was guilty. He seemed to enjoy all the publicity and the role that it brought. It even gave him the thrill that he was fighting for his life in a trial for the death sentence. Number 18. Ted Bundy could have escaped his death sentence. Contrary to popular belief, Bundy's death sentence could have been avoided. The authorities offered him a plea bargain of 75 years in prison if he confessed to the murders of Kimberly Leach and 3 other girls. Bundy rejected the bargain, opting instead for the electric chair. According to one of his defense team members, Mike Minerva, Bundy could just not admit in front of the whole world that he was guilty. In the end, he chose his pride over his life. Number 19. A witness in one of Ted Bundy's trails fell in love with him. Carol Ann Boone was a witness to the trials of Bundy. They met as co-workers in Washington, but they developed feelings for each other during the trials. With that, Bundy asked Carol Ann to marry him while she was standing as a witness, and Bundy defended himself as his own lawyer. Surprisingly, Boone said yes. She even gave birth to their daughter just over a year after Bundy was sentenced to death. Number 20. Experts and authors had a very distinct way of describing Ted Bundy. Biographer and thriller writer Ann Rule described Ted Bundy as a sadistic sociopath who took so much pleasure from the pain of other human beings. She also claimed that it gave him utter satisfaction to control the life of his victim. Before Bundy's death, he once said that he's the most cold-hearted and heartless person anyone could ever meet. This was backed up by the defense team attorney Polly Nelson, who described him as the definition of pure and heartless evil.